Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Tawnya Love Show. My name is Tawnya Love, and I am so excited to connect with all of you today. Today is July 14th, 2014, and today is my brother Kenneth's birthday. So I just have to give a shout out to my brother and wish him a happy birthday. And hopefully, I'll be able to see him soon in the flesh. So I hope every one of you are doing really well since our last connection. Um, I remember our last show was all about synchronicity and what that is. And it was really interesting because this weekend I was at an art show all weekend and with my fiance, and we were just selling our artwork and hanging out with a lot of different people, and I was doing angel readings, and it was really miraculous, all the different people that were summoned in for assistance and messages from the angels. And I just had some of the most beautiful experiences with people. One woman in particular had recently lost her baby, and she had Down syndrome and had a deficiency, something going on in her heart. And there was just so many beautiful things that came through in that reading. And one of the things is I was connecting with her. I was telling her that her daughter's spirit was very much with her and was like an angel to her family. And the way she left was very purposeful to bring an awakening to her family. And the girl started to cry, and she was like, "You're so right. She has brought so many connections of the family that were not connecting. She really helped create that connection through her transformation, through her releasing of her physical form." And as we were talking, I could feel her daughter's spirit there, and I was just, telling her that, you can talk to her anytime. She's with you, and there's no loss. Like, you're just not seeing her spirit because she's not in a form right now, but she's with you very much. And right then, this man was at the park where we were doing the art show, and he started playing the steel drum, and he was playing the song Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And right then, the angels channeled through me that this song has very significant meaning for her. It's very relevant to her. And so I told her that. I said, the angels are saying that this song has significance for you. And so she was not then listening to me as much, but she started to tune into the music. And as soon as she knew the song, she started to cry. And she was like, "Oh my gosh, Tanya, this is the song I sang to my daughter right before she passed away." And it was just so beautiful. And I just wanted to share that because I love sharing um, testimonials of how everything is really just temporary. Everything is really illusionary, and all this form stuff that we get so caught up in is really not as important as we're making it. It is important to the level that we enjoy this, manifestation that we're creating, but not so much to the point where if something shifts that we lose our connection with source and we lose our remembrance of everything is connected and everything is infinite and everything is expanding and evolving all the time. And on that note, I had a woman come in to my little booth, and she saw that I was doing angel readings, and we started chatting for a little bit. And she had told me how she had gone through some stuff in her life, and that there was a time where she was channeling archangels, and she was asking me questions about what I did. And so I was explaining and telling her how they called me into service, and I listened, and my life is very much about flow and synchronicity. And how it just changed my life when I stopped worrying about the reality and stopped worrying about what's going to happen. And I started to just trust and flow and feel my intuition and trust and honor what I felt. And to really give myself over for the light as an assistant to help in awakening humanity. And she, as she was listening to me, she was like, "Oh my God, you sound just like what I was going through about 10 years ago." And she told me that she had written a book, and she used to be very connected to angels and very much listening. And then she seemed a little sad to me. And I was like, "Well, what do you mean you used to be?" And she told me that there was a moment she had written a couple books, and they were all taking off. Everything was really flowing. And suddenly her husband lost his job. And when he lost his job, she had to go and get a real job, and she had to go work in the world, and she just totally left that aspect of herself. She completely stopped tuning into the angels. She stopped connecting in that way. And after that, I saw she had something going on with her face. There was like twitching in her eye, and I could tell there was some paralysis from what I felt was probably a stroke or something that had happened. And as I was tuning in, sure enough, she had had physical problems. And then my fiance later confirmed that she went through a stroke. And as I was talking to her, I just asked her, because the angels were channeling through me, to ask her, what did she choose when her husband lost his job? What was her choice and her vibration at that time? And if she could tune in and remember that, did she choose the direction of her life from a place of love, or did she choose the direction of her life from a place of fear? And I asked her that, and she got quiet for a minute, and she just was like, fear, totally fear. And there was a very deep and important consequence to that choice that affected her physical health. It affected her life in so many ways. Well, as we were talking, I just hugged her and I was like, don't worry. You are still connected and you can connect again right now just by opening yourself again, just by remembering who you really are again, and that you're not punished and they're not, it's not like the angels are going to give up on us and they're going to hold a grudge. That's not angelic at all. It's not in my nature and the way I'm wired to hold grudges. We are very much about the balance and protection of the sacredness and the honor of life, but it's not in our nature, in an angelic being's nature, to want to cause harm or damage and to hold a grudge. And so for her to think her angels maybe were upset at her for not, connecting with them was really more coming from her egoic mind than it is from the reality of truth of how angelic beings operate. And so I just kind of gave her a hug and just reminded her who she was and to just start connecting again, because if she had these powerful experiences once, she could have them again, and that she obviously had a consequence to choosing fear. And so, what was that lesson? Like, what did she learn? And so, it's never about punishment, it's always about lesson. What did we learn from that situation? Did it strengthen us? Did it weaken us? Did it cause us confusion? Did it bring us clarity? Did it bring us compassion, understanding? Everything has the lesson. And so, if we as humans can just be much more gentle on ourselves and start to really have compassion for ourselves and not judge ourselves, maybe we did wrong to others, maybe we've done wrong to ourselves um, for years. It's not about all that past, it's about releasing that past. And as a healer, that's exactly what I assist clients with, is helping them to shed that heaviness of that pain body, to shed the heaviness of that cellular memory that is sometimes conscious and often times it's unconscious in them, and to clear that so that they can really come into these higher vibrational um, energies, which is where we're evolving to. And so I wanted to share that backstory because this woman obviously powerfully was channeling angels. She had a lot of amazing things happen to the point that it led her to write a couple books. And then something happened in her life that caused her to doubt, caused her fear. And what Archangel Ariel has been channeling through me lately is that there are greater tests coming to us as humans, and more of us are going to go through these initiations to either stick to the path, stay to the path, or to turn from the path in fear. And we all have our own stuff. Everyone's got their own energies that are coming in, and it's how you're going to handle it. Are you going to remember to stay centered in love and in truth, in your alignment? Or are you going to betray yourself because of fear? Are you going to get caught up in the external world and telling you that there's not enough and connect and relate to a lackful consciousness? Or are you going to say enough of that and remember who you are and pull away from the external world and tune inward and feel the abundance and feel the aliveness and feel the health and wholeness into manifestation? We're literally being awakened to shift and feel our vibration to the level that we would like it to be, and there is no more room for victimization on the planet as it's evolving. That once very, honored and like we celebrated the victimization of things is no longer serving, and it's really not helping anyone. And so her to feel bad and to kind of withhold and think she couldn't do this anymore was her own shaming. It was her own ego trying to keep her down. And what I explained to her was that oftentimes what my angels have channeled through, and they're not my angels, they're our angels, but I just feel like my family, what they've channeled through is that often as a being is getting higher and higher in vibration, the lower vibrational energies will move in harder and harder to create pressure to try to knock that being out of alignment. So I kind of like to make references to movies a lot because movies are really powerful visual tools that we can use. And there's many producers and filmmakers, directors that are channeling wisdom and then creating films to help humanity awaken. And a couple of the films I love to reference are Star Wars, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. These films are all a similar story if you really look at it. There's the light, and then there's the dark. There's the low vibrational energies, there's the high vibrational energies. And what will humanity choose? And it really comes down, like if you're watching Lord of the Rings, it really comes down to the moment at times where one choice in a direction out of alignment could have done everyone in. And it's really getting to that place on our planet where each of us are, I feel the angels are coming in so strong right now on our planet to help awaken the consciousness. And what they tell me is they're here to awaken the humans that are open, the ones that are listening, the ones that have suffered enough. And we have beautiful places we're going. We are ascending. We're ascending into these new realms. We are creating from a third dimension, we're going into fourth and fifth dimensional experiences and creating these realities that already really exist in another time space. And so, a lot of us in our human minds, if we're very five sensory and we're just now starting to question things, the angels want you to remember not to be too hard on yourself if you're not able to really comprehend a lot of this. If some of it just seems like out of this world and it's blowing your mind, let it be that. Instead of resisting or struggling with it, just be open to the fact that something's blowing your mind because I look at anything that blows my mind as an amazing opportunity because it's showing that I am expanding more, I'm opening more. There's always been more, I just wasn't open to it. So, it's kind of like everyone for a long time thought the world was flat, and until they got more and more information and kind of opened up their ability to even comprehend that the planet was round, they couldn't even see it. But it didn't mean it wasn't round. And so that's sort of like what's going on with our humanity, with humanity's shifts in consciousness, is that we are very much being given all this higher channeled information. We have angelic beings bringing in assistance all the time for this planet, sending healing to the very core of our earth and sending healing to all the humans, the animals. They're sending in this consciousness so that we'll awaken and realize our oneness, realize that we are so connected. And so if we think that we lash out and we hurt and we harm another to get ourselves in a better position, this is really insanity, and this is what our angels are coming in to awaken us to. And there will be a consequence to the behaviors. They say this to me all the time. We each will have opportunities to step in, to give ourselves to the light, to go into high vibration, what I like to refer to as alignment. When we're aligned with Source, we are one with the Christ consciousness or the unity consciousness, and that is where we thrive. That is where abundance resides. That's where magic and miracles, what we call miracles, but in truth, it's just us stepping into our power. We are all gods in creation. We are all awakening to our power. And so, if we can for a moment just remember or tune into the fact that we're this spiritual being that's highly intelligent and we are experiencing a human awakening, this is more in alignment than I am a human being and I'm having some freaky experiences that are spiritual at times, that are kind of confusing and unclear, but really magical. We start to more identify with the human form when in essence we are spiritual beings and we are enjoying this process of humanity awakening, all of us together. And the angels have sent in many on the planet, all across the planet, to awaken consciousness. Beings like myself, when I was 2 years ago, Archangel Ariel was channeling through me. And it was blowing my mind. And I often, when I work with clients that this stuff's happening to them in the beginning, I just encourage them to be gentle with themselves, be open, be compassionate, and just listen. Because what you once thought you knew is now being challenged because it's no longer serving you. It's something you were clinging and attaching to, and it didn't ever mean it was truth. So we have to be really open right now at this time in our evolution to evolve without attachment, to completely be free of clinging, to what my angels say, stay in a place of great discernment at all times. What one energy was one day could shift in the next day. For example, you could be working with a friend or you have a good friend, and one day you're good friends, you feel the love, you feel the alignment, the joy. Another day happens where their energy seems off and you question like something's off in them. What's going on? I kind of feel like they're manipulating me. I feel like they're in fear. I feel like they're trying to control my energy. This can happen in the blink of an eye. And this is what the angels are teaching us is that we are vibrational beings and it's really important that we are constantly aware of the vibration of others. We are constantly tuning into higher counsel for assistance and guidance. So if we feel confused about something or we have a little bit of a gut feeling, something feels off, we don't just ignore that and blindly follow. This is not serving us any longer. We are being shown that something's off. Our intuition is speaking. And now the question is, are we listening? Are we going to call in for clarity and understanding? I encourage each of you to do this because as you call in that wisdom, you will be shown greater truth. You will be shown greater understanding. We're in a time of separation of the like the lower vibrations and the higher vibrations. You could say good and evil, light and dark, whatever you want to relate it to. It's really a vibrational thing. But there are those that are going through destruction, consume the ego, by fear, consume the aggression, manipulation. This all have our ancient us in a higher vibration. However, beings like myself that have given ourselves to assist the awakening of humanity, we're here channeling that wisdom in to share it with you so that you will listen and tune in and know that any of you listening can tune in and listen to your angels. Every one of you listening has the power to connect like that with Source. Your source of connection is right here in this breath, right here available right now. Many of you are not connecting. You're forgetting this. You go into complete fear and panic, and then you want to lash out and control those around you. And it is because of your fear, because you have forgotten your source connection. And this is not serving you. It's not serving your planet. It's not serving humanity. And if you don't awaken, it will be your demise. It will be the demise of humanity and the planet Earth. And so what I'm feeling is not a fearful doom and gloom message, but it's a message of hope to really know that we hold the power, that we can step in at any moment. We can claim that connection. We can listen. We can go into our heart space every moment and make sure that we are coming from a place of love and honor. And when you're in a place of love and honor, it doesn't mean that you're just a pushover and you allow everyone to treat you badly and you're just like, oh, I love everyone even if they're hateful. It's not like that. If someone is projecting hatefulness on you, you speak your truth and you stand your ground. You show them your healthy boundary, but you have love at your center. Your center, most everything is connected about love. It's about alignment and oneness. So sometimes setting a clear boundary to a human that is out of control and out of balance is loving yourself, it's protecting others, and it's also protecting and showing love to the one out of balance or out of control. So it's really important that we get that because some of us are struggling to really stand in our power when it comes to dealing with misaligned beings that are very manipulative and very controlling. And what I am getting from the angels is that this is a time of great discernment of this. In ourself, the highest focal point is where am I? Who am I? What am I reacting to at this time? Am I in a place of fear or love at any time? The woman who wrote the book I'm telling you about, which I'm going to show it to you, it's called um, the Ariel transmissions, and it's angelic messages from the cosmos. This woman, she wrote a pen name, so this isn't her actual name, but her name on here is Joyce Thomas. And she was, in a moment where she was channeling this stuff and she was connecting. And then fear set in, and that fear sent her in a completely different direction. But it's not hopeless, it's not over. She was summoned into my little booth at that art festival at that moment, in that time, and that space for a higher purpose to help her remember who she is. The day I saw her, when she came and gifted me this book, I was so excited because she was connecting with this wisdom again. And she hugged me and thanked me for just helping her to remember who she was and to see that it wasn't over for her and that she could bring balance. A lot of humans have struggled for years to bring these higher channeled messages to humanity and to be treated with respect. I've been there. A lot of us have. We've shared the wisdom. We've helped our parents. We've helped our neighbors, our friends, our communities, and oftentimes been misunderstood or looked at with great fear because there's a lack of understanding and comprehension. Many that aren't open enough don't understand this consciousness. And so it's really important that we stay centered in our love space. We keep emitting a frequency and a signal and a vibration of love. And if anything, if you're not sure what to do, am I back? Are you there, Amnon?
You are now.
Okay. Did it lose very much or was it just a little quick blip? Should I keep speaking?
Go.
Okay. All right. So sorry about that. We lost connection for a moment. But basically, back to where I was connecting is that we each have power to be a catalyst for change and love. I am aware that as I walk on this planet, there are many in a lower vibration of fear, competition, judgment, anger, sadness, and sickness. I am here to assist with that. So it's really important that as each of us are coming into a higher vibration and we're claiming our power, that we stay in that high vibration and we assist, but we don't get caught up in that external world or that external vibration in a way that pulls us down. And that's something that each of us has to be very mindful of because in a moment we could be hooked and triggered by someone's misalignment, and next thing we know, we're feeling fear and we're feeling confusion and anger. So this can happen. This is part of the human conditioning. Each of us has power, however, and when a moment like that happens, speak your truth, set your healthy boundary, step away from the energy if you need to, and often you do, and go into a space in your heart where you are sending love and light. You are learning your lesson. What is it that this came to your world for? How is it that this moment just manifested for you and why? These are your greater questions. Each of you are manifesting things, very important things and situations to bring awakening for each of you. Some of these situations you're manifesting are going to be dark and they're going to be sad and they're going to be hurtful and negative, what you call negative, but many of you needed it that way. You've called it forth for yourself to awaken so that you would step back into your power. Some of you are just bringing in blissful, amazing, high vibrational experiences because you are centered in that vibration and you know that that is what your truth is, and you're not even giving energy to the lower vibration. This is wisdom, and it's going to serve you to keep going higher even when others won't follow. Part of what becomes tricky for some humans is your attachment. You have a lot of attachment to each other. So if I am vibrationally rising and my brother's not, or my daughter's not, or my husband's not, then I don't know what I do. So a lot of you sink back down to try to prove it or challenge these ones to come there. And in essence, the best thing you can do is keep evolving, keep ascending, let them catch up. If they don't catch up, you don't want to go back down. And this is something that's tricky to the egoic mind because the egoic mind is all about attachment and it thinks it has to stay attached to be safe. Your true soul is all about evolution and expansion. It needs nothing to feel safe. It doesn't need attachment. It seeks truth, alignment, and wisdom, harmony, beauty, love. This is the path of the soul. And the angels are encouraging each of you to stick to the path, stay to the path. Many of you know you've done yoga, you've come to meditation, you've connected with the angels, you've channeled at moments and you felt blissfully connected, and then something happens that creates fear or triggers the fear, and you go this direction. You get off of the path, some for just a few minutes and some for years and lifetimes. And so it's really important that we remember to get back on the path. So I'm going to pause for a second, see, is there any questions, Amnon, or any comments coming in?
No.
Okay. So I'm going to just kind of read a little bit out of this book because I thought it was really amazing how she brought it to me and what it's all about. And especially because it's the Ariel transmissions. And that is exactly, I work with a lot of angels, but Archangel Ariel was the angel that came and called me back into service. She is with me during every auric clearing session as I assist with healing. She often is the one channeling through me in on this internet show and when I'm teaching workshops and leading. And she's one with me. She is my higher self. She's a part of my highest consciousness. And she's here, and this consciousness is here to be a part of all of our higher consciousness if we allow it. It's really available. It's like, think of this consciousness as little fractals of light coming in and channeling into the humans that are open. And those that are open are receiving this signal. It's like a frequency and a signal coming through, but some of us are so closed off, we're not picking up on it. But it doesn't mean we can't. Each of us really can. So let's see. There was a couple things I wanted to read in here that I thought were really awesome. So one of the things here it says, you are multifaceted beings, many of you. Not all, although the potential is there. All, as you realize, are on differing levels of ability to comprehend unseen mysteries, and those given to know are in the direct service to us at this time, and we are born to experience and aid those they find themselves among. We abide always. In this book, she puts God's holy ways, and I tuned in on that because whenever I'm reading something and I feel like it's not as high of a vibration, I really feel that this is an interpretation of how she brought it in, and this was written back in like 2001 or 2000, something like that. And what I tuned in today with the angels about that, and they said that she was channeling and deciphering in the best way she understood. And at that time, that was the best way to speak it because humanity wasn't even ready to understand it in a different way. So when it says God's holy ways, what I would say in the now, what I'm feeling in the now is this is the channeling of source and higher consciousness, and that it trickles through all the levels of different gods and deities. And so just to be clear on that. Let's see. We ever seek those who will open their ears and eyes to the true reason for embodiment upon the earth, and the reason for all experiences one draws into their lives while residing upon the earth plane. So this goes back to the angels are completely here to assist us so that we can remember what we're here for. So 2 years ago when I was called in to lead my tribe and to lead a great awakening in consciousness, that's an example. That is my soul's mission. I may just look like a little white girl that was born in Cheyenne, Wyoming, that lives in Vancouver, Washington, and that's what many will just see as this form of a human. But in essence, my soul mission, I remembered it, and it was to help and assist with this greater awakening. And many of you listening have this soul mission in your own way, and it will really greatly serve you to listen, to align, offer yourselves, how may I serve, and start really paying attention and listening to the divine guidance, because each of us are being called to lead a great shift. And it will be a lot of humans that will need to assist in this awakening because it's all over our planet. So just don't underestimate the power and the importance of you understanding why you're here on the earth at this time. And it's not a scary question. It's not this intense, oh God, I'm so stressed. I don't know my purpose. It's a quieting of the mind chatter. The mind chatter is going to give you fear about everything. This is a quieting of that mind's chatter. It's a connecting with source, with soul, heart, alignment. How may I serve? What is my mission? And then, shh, listen. And it will flow in, and you will know, and you will feel inspiration and excitement and eagerness. And that is the highest direction. Go that direction. That is going to serve you and many others for listening. Says you can change your reality into one of peace and light and ease of flowing instead of distress as so many seem to be experiencing at this time. See how all will flow if single-mindedness of higher intent is the goal. So we're in a time where really we're evolving to a place where we can trust and flow. I talk about this all the time on the show, that we are moving and flowing and surrendering with the flow of life. It can be easy, it can be fun, it can be playful and enjoyable. But many are still caught up in the old paradigm of this gotta make it happen, it's gotta be hard work, I've gotta force my way, I've gotta make them understand. And this way, you've done it for thousands of years on this planet, and it is not serving you. It really truly has never served your highest goal. And so if you're open and you're willing to move in a new direction, there's great ease and flowing and gracefulness and miracles awaiting each of you with the courage to flow in a new direction. It says, we send our emissaries around the world and train them to become bringers of hope and encouragement. When it's saying train, that's an interesting word because I feel that's exactly what was done to me 2 years ago. And still, I'm constantly in training. But I remember just being like, what's going on? And they're just like, you know, do not worry. What they were like, do not worry, child of the light. We're uploading you. We're uploading your consciousness with higher awareness and wisdom. They were just wanting me to allow it and to receive it. And next thing, I'm being led to, you're going to be offering auric clearings. This is going to help heal the humans and the animals. And we will be there. We will guide you. You will know what to do. You just need to listen. My life as a healer completely began that day. I wasn't attending workshops. I didn't go read any books about it. It was uploaded in my mind, in my consciousness. And now daily as I assist clients, the magic and the honor is always given to them. I give all of the highest honor to my angelic beings because they are assisting and drawing it through me. I'm a channel. I open up, I allow it to flow, I listen, I share the messages, and they are giving all that higher consciousness and it's coming through me. So it's really like this process of, if you're not sure what your destiny is, don't be afraid. Just give yourself over and ask, how may I serve? And trust that they are working with you now. They are looking, and the angelic realms are observing the planet at all times of which humans are open and receptive to this assistance. And these are the ones that are going to have miraculous shifts. There are some that may not awaken, that will resist this and will still want to stay in a heavy vibration. And they will have a consequence for the energy they continue to put out. So it's not really for us to be scared or consumed with worry of what everyone else is going to do. It's just for us to be in our own alignment, our own high vibration, and then share that with any who are open. This is why if you speak your truth and you're shamed in a public gathering, bless them with love and light, send love to them that they will get it when they're ready, and you move on. You don't need to stay there and waste energy trying to prove it or preach to people, because the preaching energy is not really serving. It's an inner experience that has to happen. This inner awakening will happen for each soul as it chooses the light, as it chooses the lightness, the higher vibration instead of the heaviness and the fear.
Question.
Yes.
Jesse is asking, how do I connect with my angels and how can they help me? And I don't
Okay.
know if it's a Jesse boy or a girl.
Okay. Well, for you, Jesse, right now is an amazing moment for you to just even have that openness of connecting. And so really the most powerful thing that you can do now is you've just set the intention. I would like to connect. I would like to hear you. I would like to listen to you. I would like to honor you. I would like to serve you and serve humanity. How may I serve? So get into that place where that's your question in your heart space. How may I serve? How may I lead? What is my soul mission? And then just be quiet and still. You can just sit here and close your eyes while I'm speaking and just listen and feel your heart's knowingness. You could go into nature on a walk and just be quiet and listen and feel. It's not a trying to grab onto something and make the information come, it's a relaxing of the mind. It's an opening of that portal to allow the information to channel instead of I've got to make it work, which is not the way we connect. So I would say the simplest way for you to connect your angels and higher consciousness is to like a blossoming. Imagine your mind is like a moonroof on a car and you're opening that moonroof. It's opening up and you're allowing that wisdom to come in instead of thinking you have to go and grab all this information out there and you've got to make something happen. Really allow yourself just to open and to just really listen to the words that we're bringing you today and to know that at this moment you are connected with your angels. At every moment they are with you. They never are not with you. It's more understanding that you can open yourself to even embody their essence, their presence. So if you feel really led and drawn to connect with them and you're feeling a calling, you just I give myself to the light. You could say that right now. Offer yourself up. How may I serve? Talk to Archangel Ariel and say, Ariel, be one with me. Speak through me. Teach through me. Heal through me. See through my eyes. Create through me. Manifest through me. And you realize then that you are not separate from Archangel Ariel or any of the angelic energies. You are in essence one. And you're just remembering that. It's like you've been asleep for a long time and you've forgotten. But some part of you through your journey, if you're honest, Jesse, you know that you've had moments where you knew they were with you. You've had moments where things happened that got your attention, that showed you you were not alone. And then there was times where you felt, oh, there was hope. And then times where the worldly heaviness consumed you and you went into fear and then forgot your connection. So does that feel right for you? If so, you can comment to Amnon. And I wish you all the best on that evolution because I know that if you're tuning in today, there's great work being done in you. So hold on to that faith. Okay. Any feedback, Amnon?
Not yet.
Okay. So let's see. So yeah, basically coming back to the message is sending love and light to all and to just share our messages as an angelic messenger. I often am not received well. Like there's times where these messages, most of the time, the clients I'm summoning in or the angels summoned to me are very respectful and honoring and very much um, are grateful and have appreciation for the messages. But there have been times where there's humans that come in and they reject those messages. They're in fear and they don't want to hear what they have to do, that they actually have to be accountable, that they actually have to stop being a victim, that this game they're playing is really not serving them. And sometimes those humans don't really want to hear that right then because they're kind of enjoying their suffering. They may not want to admit that, but they're choosing it over alignment. And so it's really important that as an angelic assistant that we stay centered in love and truth. That is our highest mission. And what others do with that truth is up to them. What others do with the messages, it's up to them. We can share our love and it can be totally blocked. It will never hurt us to share that love. So keep shining it. But you may not have a response that, I think the angelic way to love is so unconditional. You love and you share and you speak truth because it's the aligned thing to do. You don't love in a human way, which is, I love you if you do this. I love you if this happens, and I'll only love you if you say this or you do this for me. This is very human, the human conditioning of love, and it's not love actually. It's actually control and manipulation. And as we're evolving, it's really important that we step into our power and we stop enabling this behavior. I had an experience recently, and hopefully my son won't be upset if I share this because I feel in my heart I should. I had an experience where he was going through a really hard time and he was hurting, and I understood why, and he was upset with someone and he wanted me to do something to make it better, and he was really upset and yelling at me on the phone and telling me I had to do this, and if you love me you'll do this for me, mom. And it was really intense conversation, and I remember just taking breaths and saying, you need to calm down. You really need to stop controlling this, stop trying to control the energy right now and just breathe and connect. And he would get more and more angry and lash out. And finally, I got to a point where I had to raise my voice and say, I am going to disconnect from this call now, and I love you deeply, but I will not enable this behavior, and I will not give you my power and my energy. It is out of alignment. And I hear him, no, don't hang up on me, and he's upset. Now, this is a human that I love dearly that was very much in fear and consumed with fear about a situation that he didn't know how to control. So when a human's out of control and they're having fear consume them, they want to lash out and project that. They want to tell the others, you've got to do this. I'm going to now control you because I don't feel control over my own emotions, my own energy. The worst thing we can do is to cater to that. As a mother, I adore my children, but it has been a very powerful lesson that I, in my own alignment, have to teach them, to show them through my aligned example that I love you, I care about you greatly, and you will not control my energy, and I will not cater to this bullying because that is not going to serve them. So some of us as parents, we get afraid when this happens. We're like, oh my God, how do we control this child? How do we calm them down? And because we go and let that control energy hook us, next thing we know, we are trying to control someone else to stop their trying to control us. Do you see how the domino effect kind of happens? And so it's really important that each of us stay centered in love and in alignment of that compassion and awareness and presence. And love is not controlling. Love does not make people do anything. Love does not say, you do this if you love me. That in its essence is fear. So we really have to wake up to this. Humanity really would be benefited greatly to awaken to that. So that's just an example how it can happen right in your home, right with the ones that you love the most, can be sometimes the most challenging because they're humans that you deeply care about, you share sacred space with. The most important humans that you could make sure you're standing at your ground and with your boundaries are these ones you share your sacred space with, because it will affect your environment and it will affect your vibration. Any other questions, Amnon?
No, but Jesse
Okay.
said thank you.
Oh, thank you. I hope that really helped. And if you want any deeper insights to things that are more personal, feel free to contact me after the show. We could do an auric clearing or an angel reading, but it's really simple. It's really about an opening. And so I really hope that helps you. And honestly, you don't need a bunch of tools. All these other things, crystals and sage and incense and statues of Buddha, and all these are beautiful. And I love these images and symbols, but you need nothing but this moment of openness. And that's really important to know because so many of us have been, in this, there was this movement with the whole New Age thing that was kind of like you needed all these things to be able to connect. It's no different than the religious movement where you need all these preachers or priests to connect. You don't need any of that. All those things can be beautiful. If you love having, your beads and saying prayers, use them. If you love using incense, use that incense. If you love connecting with crystals, that's awesome. But if you feel like that is necessary for you to have a deeper connection with your angels and with Source, it can get you in trouble. Same with people that use like hallucination drugs that, oh, I need this if I'm going to have a soul connection. I need my drug of choice because it helps open my mind. What happens is often these humans will get misalignment issues of addiction where now they use this thing to replace their own innate ability to connect. And that is what we have to be mindful of. It's not the things that are good or bad, they're just things. It's how we set intention to use those things. How are we using them? How are we feeling about them? If I'm too addicted to my money or to my man or to my marijuana or to my crystals or anything, this can become an issue because it's now separating me from my ability to connect. So the ability to connect is in the now. It's in a breath, it's in an openness, and it's in the listening. So I hope that really helps you. Um, okay, there was a couple things I wanted to say here. Another message in here says there are many upon your planet who cannot awaken at this time. Attempts have been made by those given awakening. This process has been going on for a number of years. It is a very difficult task, the
Hold it.
process of
Hold,
attempting and awakening. Oh, go ahead.
hold it, because I think we're getting ready to lose you again.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Don't lose me.
it's getting kind of robotic, and you're freezing.
Okay. I don't know why it does that. Technology sometimes.
Yeah.
Angels, thank you for assisting in keeping our vibration balanced for this video. How about that?
All right, keep going.
Okay. So basically, it's a very difficult task, the process of attempting an awakening within many of your populace. There is a general close down and shutdown of any ability into an opening whatsoever. We see a great separation of your peoples and only the few who have been able to rise above. Rise above. Would our attempts be a lesson in futility? There is never futility, as we have risen above in our thinking processes to not be affected by the inability of others to not respond to light and truth. We have risen above as we know what has been presented by those who have been sent down to mingle among your peoples, to awaken those upon your planet. Do indeed realize what they present is truth of the highest nature. They are saddened only that so many will be in shock at the ending of this cycle when they come to realize what will be occurring as the separation takes place, and the journeys do not all take one in the same direction. So, this is kind of a message of awareness that we may not all choose to go in the same direction. You may have family among you when you choose to rise that will not go, and this is part of the saddening where I went through it myself, people I called family for lifetime, and I had to rise and go in a new direction. And there was just hatefulness and darkness, and I could not stay any longer. And that's a choice that every soul has to make. And I have been nothing but rewarded for making that choice. And every time I listen to my angels and guides, I am rewarded and I benefit. So it's not like a doom and gloom story. It's really an opportunity for us all to remember we deserve so much beauty and honor, and that as we choose love, as we choose to go higher in vibration, we will all ascend into higher realms of being. We will all assist in the shift of our planet, and all the structures upon the planet that are out of alignment, their time is coming where it will fall. And I have been given that message many times. And it's not a fearful thing, it's a truth thing. It's a this. Think of, you have like a structure, you're building a building, and that building is not in alignment and it's unstable. And you get the contractors, they come in and they're looking around, they're like, ooh, this is out of alignment. This structure is not stable. You need to reinforce, you need to do these things, or it's going to fall. That is what I represent. That is what any angelic, connected, intuitive healer on this planet represents. That is what the angels represent, is we are here to assist in the alignment. We're not here judging what you've created. We're not judging saying, oh, it's good or bad. It's just, it's not stable. It's not in alignment. So if you want it to be stable, listen to the messages. If you don't care about that and you just want to keep marching ahead and ignore the signs, you will destroy much of the systems that you've created, whether it be your economy, the healthcare, the way that you handle your food, the way you handle the planet itself. There will be a consequence. So it's not a judgment from higher consciousness, it's the higher consciousness flowing in to assist in protecting your planet and what you've created. So I hope that helps with clarity on that. Says we enable all to have access to the truth, and it comes on many levels. It comes from books to movies we have guided ones to produce, sometimes, yet rarely, in your television programming, and in other forms on the written and spoken word. We reach others in your dream state and by examples that come into tangible form into your life experiences. We see, however, that all cannot awaken, and although the attempt will be made until your time in this format comes to an ending, we realize the journeys taken at the end of this cycle will indeed take ones in more than one direction and pathway. So it's just kind of guidance that we are being in a place of great importance to make our choices. It's like Star Wars. Do you choose to be in alignment with the Jedi that are the protectors of the balance? Or do you choose the dark side because you're afraid that if you don't go that way, they're going to turn against you? This happens so much in families, it happens in business, it happens in so many of your structures because there's a bully, a manipulative energy that's very afraid and very out of alignment that controls the majority. And because each of you are too afraid to speak truth to this individual or this entity, you go in that direction from fear, and each will have a consequence. When you turn from that and you choose love and light, even if your form is to be taken in some cases, you will never cease to be. So it's really important to remember you are infinite energy, and your choices you make will continue to bring you the lessons you need until they're learned. So that's really important. Um, let's see, do not fall into misguided thought patterns at this late time, but remain firm that we are indeed the hosts of source of light and radiance, and this time of light and radiance is awaiting all graduates just around the corner. So that's kind of what I talk about when I'm working with a client that's going through a great shift, or what they like to refer to as a rebirthing. It's like, they're graduating to a new level. It's that seashell, that nautilus shell. They've been in this chamber and they're pushing to the new chamber. They're evolving into a higher dimensional space, a higher vibration. And this is where all of us are meant to go, is to keep evolving and to keep flowing. And our ultimate goals are of love and honor, to bring balance, to bring protection and love, to where one day all will thrive upon this planet. All will be in great abundance. We are manifesting very quickly. I don't know if any of you are paying attention to that, but what you once used to think about that took a long time to manifest does not take very long. So kind of tune into that and see if that feels right for you. I have been observing that if I'm thinking a negative thought, I quickly will manifest something to come in to teach me, whoa, we don't want to go there anymore. And it's not a punishment, it's just a lesson. Like, ooh, remember what that felt like? Let's choose to go higher. I'm learning that as I focus on the abundance and on my eager excitement for what is to come, the miracles of what my soul's ready to manifest, they manifest very quickly. So abundance comes quickly, love comes quickly, dream home comes quickly. Being on this internet show came quickly. It's all been a vibrational process of my maintaining that vibrational alignment that I'm mirroring to each of you. I'm not superior to any of you. I'm not more gifted or blessed or lucky. No one around you is more gifted, blessed, or lucky. We all are in the same space of opportunity. Some of us are vibrationally focused upon the higher vibrations of abundance and love and the good that we desire, and others are focused upon the vibration of fear and worry and anxiety and the stress and the things that they're scared of happening, and they create them. And so it's really not a selection process of who's worthy or not. Are you paying attention to your own vibration, your own thoughts, your own creations, or are you not? This is where accountability is 100% what's important. There's no more victimization here, because in order to really be in our power as the God creators we have to know ourselves. We have to be true to ourselves. We have to basically claim our stuff and be accountable. And it will help and serve us to never try to make excuses for why we don't want the awareness. I'm going to pause. Any other things coming in?
Nope.
Okay.
Everybody's just drinking what you're
Listening.
telling.
There's like, whoa, she is bringing it today. Okay, so this part I want to read, and I don't typically read books on this show, but this book seriously was a gift, and thank you so much to the woman that brought it. And I knew that my angels brought this for me to share, because I was reading this book. I'm like, oh my God, this is like my life. Like, I completely understand this, and I'm writing a book, and I feel like it's also coming to show. Write that book, Tawnya. It's important, and that humanity is going to get it in all different ways. Wayne Dyer's going to reach some Doreen Virtue will reach some. Louise Hay's going to help assist all those in reaching some. And we each have a voice and a powerful gift, and it's important we share it. So I've been feeling that nudge like, focus, girl. So anyway, this part is called abilities and capabilities. And when I was reading this, it completely made sense and resonated with what I'm assisting with in an angelic auric clearing. And I wanted to read it because some of you that have been on the fence, like, do I need any of this assistance? And what is it really? What's an auric clearing? Can it help me? First of all, absolutely, it can help you in amazing ways that are beyond words and beyond explanation. But the way this explains is so beautiful. I think it might help you to comprehend what light workers like myself are here doing and to understand the honor of that moment in time for you and how much it will make your life better. Instead of being afraid or in lack, go towards the healers that you feel a vibrational connection with because they're here to help you. So this part says, there will come a time, and we see this as now, when you will be able to immediately know all that you desire, and will indeed be lifted into the radiance that you desire, and many have worked towards. When the radiance is achieved with the coming of the changeover into a higher density level of awareness, then all those who have long trained in quiet and ofttimes obscurity will come forth into their individual radiance. This is like me, quiet for a couple years, just not saying much in my family, listening to my angels, and then one day I had a lot to say, and I came out and I was making a difference. Many of you are in that place. You're in what I call the cocoon. You're in that cocoon and you're just processing. You're observing the misalignment everywhere. You've become very quiet, but you have things churning in you. Just trust that as you keep going in that higher vibrational direction, your voice will be needed and important. And don't be afraid to speak. Don't be afraid to roar, which I'm going to read a card today, which is a lion. Makes total sense today. But anyway, they will walk among all others as examples of what you will all achieve one day. Think of Christ coming to our planet, teaching these miracles, showing them through experience, speaking to all the people and giving them messages to assist them in their transformation and their living a life of joy and harmony. And think of how many he assisted in saying that one day they would achieve these things, they would do these things, and how humanity didn't get him and was afraid of him and what they did to him. But this consciousness has been here forever and it will continue to come in. And it's coming in stronger than ever. And it's coming in to assist each of you. There is none of you that are not worthy of it. Every one of you, even the worst murderer on the planet that has caused nothing but damage and harm, in a moment of awareness, in a moment of a shift of alignment, that human could clear all of that and come into awakening and awareness. And that's something that we really need to understand because a lot of us want to pass judgment and keep people in those little places they were and not allow them to heal and evolve. So it's really important that we see that. People come into embodiment with various strengths and capabilities and all contribute their share to uplifting in whatever way they have been created for. But all together make up the whole of Creator's thought, and each continues on to become creators in their own right. Some of you reading our words may ask, do those who have become rulers, so to speak, over other star systems have the ability to comprehend on all levels of intelligence or intellect? When the veil thins, yes, all have that knowledge to be tapped into. So this thinning of the veil is like, as it's saying, as our third dimensional environment shifts, these abilities are fractured into many of our populace, so the people, with each learning individually to bring forth their particular abilities to aid others. Your awareness expands and becomes open to take in more, so to speak, abilities are then given to see the larger picture. Further, brain cells are awakened to give greater intelligence and greater ability until at some point, throughout many incarnations, you one day arrive at the place where all can be known to you, and that is when you will go forward to become the rulers of other systems in this vast universe. You will, in that far distant future time, be given the entire picture that will be required to be rulers of planets and systems. At this point, you would be on overload if that was all known. So it's basically showing that where we're headed in evolution, we may not understand it all right now, but we are headed in this direction, and that is our destiny to live in this higher vibrational way, and it is our destiny to assist. And like with an auric clearing, when it's talking about the brain cells being awakened. This is exactly what the angels share with me when I'm working with clients. They're activating their unity consciousness. They're activating the pineal gland. Archangel Metatron is activating the light body or the Merkaba, and it's all important stuff going on spiritually that we may not always see, but we feel it. We understand the shift vibrationally, and as we go through that shift, we access all the chambers of the mind, the intellect opens, the intelligence opens, the psychic gifts open. We start accessing higher consciousness and psychic knowing, telepathic abilities return, psychic insight. We start seeing with our clairvoyance, and we have all these amazing things will start to happen. This is why we've created so many movies about, like what is the one with all the Oh, why can I not come? They'll bring it to me in a minute. But the people that have all these gifts and they call them mutants, and oh, why is it not coming through? Anyway, I'll just pause and it'll come through. But these movies where they show these beings with powers, superhero movies are huge. Why is that? Why is consciousness of our humanity, our collective, so interested in superhero movies? Think about that. What is it that Source is wanting to awaken in us as humanity? Is it just saying, oh, you're just going to be victims and you have to wish for a Superman? Superman's symbol is so similar to what I feel with the angels. Superman is the embodiment of higher consciousness, and he came to the planet. He's on the planet assisting humanity, and they're constantly trying to kill him. They're constantly freaked out and afraid of him. He knows exactly that they're afraid of him. He sees through the walls. He sees what they're up to, and he calls them on it, and he keeps assuring them, I'm here to assist you, and I really would like it if you'd stop trying to kill me. This is basically Superman is a symbol of the archangels coming into human form, of Christ consciousness coming down to a planet to protect it, because the insanity of the planet can't even understand that protection and keeps trying to hurt and harm the very ones that have been sent to protect it. It would serve this planet greatly to pay attention to that. It would serve us greatly to show honor for the very ones that are here bringing consciousness and awakening, rather than feel threatened and scared of them and try to hurt them. So maybe watch Superman again, that Man of Steel movie. You'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, the last thing I'll say on this part I wanted to read was um, it's just like an ending message that I think is important, is to envision not doom and gloom and limited successes. Envision a world engulfed in the radiance of the Christ light or the Christ consciousness, and the children of the world going forth creating miraculous to you now, new methods for all to succeed, to excel and lift up. Envision the beauty of a new world with people wearing faces that glow with health and demeanors filled with joy and happiness and reverence. Pray that all would be made receptive to this vision, so all can hold these thoughts in their minds until the time of manifestation into reality. So realize this, as you sit and visualize and you sit and pray for what you desire, you are calling forth that vibrationally. You are practicing as the gods and creators you are, the laws of attraction. As you are focusing on the world shifting into a beautiful, balanced state instead of into a negative, hateful place. Some of you are creating movies where the futuristic world looks like hell. It is scary, and there's no love there, and it's suffering and sickness and disease, because some of you are seeing the direction of fear and violence and machinery and engineering gone in a direction of destruction. That is what you will create. But we have the moment right now with this now moment of infinite power to focus on the direction of love and balance and honor and health and wellness for everyone. Not just for the Democrats or the Republicans, not just for the Christians or the Jews, for every human, every animal, every living creature, all the plants and the trees thriving on a planet, because we're holding a vision of that balance and that awareness. This is possible. It is not over yet. And that if we each realize that and we see how in our own lives we're manifesting very quickly fear or love experiences, we can start to vibrationally shift things as a planetary experience, as the collective consciousness. We are all a part of the collective. Some of us are pulled into the collective in fear and greed and consumption of worry, and that is where we stay. We're always operating there. Some of us are in a higher consciousness, assisting and shifting and raising the collective consciousness to a harmonious, abundant, beautiful place of honor and wellness and wholeness. So I hope that that message came through that you each hold the power of what you're creating personally, and that alignment that you each choose is helping assist the bigger picture. So you not shifting, you staying in fear is affecting more than you understand. You going into love, you going into hope and optimism and joy, following your heart's true mission and not being afraid, trusting is affecting the whole in ways you don't even understand yet or can comprehend. So don't underestimate the power of each of your shifting. It's so important. Do I have time to read a card or should I do that next time, Amnon?
That's okay.
Am
Go
I
ahead.
am I too far over? Okay.
Go ahead.
So the reason I would feel allowed to read this is that I drew a card for my angel totems today, and it's the lion. And Archangel Ariel is known as the lioness of God. And so I just felt like that was perfect. And here's what the card looks like. And I feel this is what is awakening in each of you that are tuning in is this inner lion of God, of source is awakening and it's time for you to speak. It's time for you to roar. It's time for you to claim your space and not to feel like you're a follower anymore or to feel afraid of standing in your power. It's not serving you. So here's what it says. Lion represents power, loyalty, leadership, and family. From the gods of ancient Greece to the goddesses of Egypt, from Hinduism to Buddhism, family crests and coat of arms, lion has long been embraced as a symbol of strength, courage, and dignity. Sacred protector of thrones, palaces, and shrines, lion is the guardian of our quest to live our highest values in life. In the ancient art of alchemy, lion symbolizes the purified attributes of gold. With a roar that can be heard up to 5 miles away, a running speed of 50 miles per hour, and an ability to leap as far as 36 feet in one bound, lion embodies the essence of physical prowess. Lord of the cats and king of the animal kingdom, there is one special difference between lion and virtually every other member of the cat species: family. While most cats live solitary existence, lion's path is one of belonging, teamwork, and togetherness. Deeply affectionate in rest and highly coordinated in action, each brings unique strengths to play a vital role in the journey of the pride, or the tribe, or the team, or the family. They then spend 16 to 20 hours each day resting. When lion, I actually think that's symbolic because how much time do I spend now that I'm more in my lion energy than when I was in my sheep energy of following? It is significant. So that resting and being in stillness and listening, this is so vital and important. And your society doesn't teach this. It doesn't teach that it's important to rest. It's like, go do, go be busy. So, really pay attention to that. Though they spend, okay, sorry, I already read that part. The message. So here's the message of Lion. When Lion comes to you, Lion comes with the call to awaken a power within that is your birthright. Not through struggle, forcefulness, or contrived effort, but through the simple expression of your true self, ignited deep within. When Lion roars, he does so not to gain any approval. This is important that we know this because that's ego, but to boldly claim his place in the world. I am here. Lion is now calling you to make such a stand. So some of you listening, maybe stand up right now and just rah! I am here. Like I claim my sacred space and claim it. And don't apologize or try to prove yourself. Just speak it and claim your space. Let's see. There is nothing you need to learn or gain from the outside world to be fully who you are. The time is now for you to embrace your unique strengths and allow them to lead you to discover your greater place within the whole. If you feel stuck or less than empowered, bring yourself into the open fields or quiet shores where you can be alone and listen. Take time to reconnect with the truth of your inner fire and let yourself roar. Like, what is it that's fueling you with passion or fury? Tune into that. It is a direction that you are here to assist with. Awaken the power lying dormant within you. Feel it rise from the earth into your heart and body. You are a great and noble being. Your leadership is now needed to take your pride, your team, or project to the next level. So when the angels are saying it's time to lead your tribe, this is what they're saying. We are all one, and some of us have to step in as leaders to awaken the rest that are heading right to the cliff. And we want to make sure we're roaring loudly to guide them in a safer direction. It's important. Do not be shy do not shy away from your power, but allow yourself to breathe deeply and accept that you came here to fully express your gifts in the world. What is your heart calling you to do? So there's your question for this week. Maybe write that down, and in meditation, tune into your heart space. What is my heart now guiding me to do? Not what did it guide me to do? What is my heart guiding me to do now? Lion is leadership and abundance. Lion is loyalty to the calling of the heart. Speak your truth now. Embody your strengths now. Honor your gifts and the gifts of others within the balance of work and pleasure, solitude and togetherness. Be the lion that you are. And here's the affirmation. And maybe as you listen to this, close your eyes and repeat it out loud and embody this. Claim it for yourself. I breathe into my center and awaken my power. Aligned with my tribe, I am the full expression of my unique purpose. And I'll say that one more time. I breathe into my center and awaken my power. Aligned with my tribe, I am the full expression of my unique purpose. So, thank you all for tuning in and listening, and I encourage each of you to talk to Archangel Ariel. She is coming in stronger than ever, and she is available to all of us. And if any of you have trouble discerning messages, or you need assistance in a healing or a reading, you want some soul coaching, you know where I am at, you know how to find me, go to the website, you can contact me through Facebook, and I would love to assist and serve you. Make sure if you call me, I've had a few people call me and not leave their number, and I couldn't understand what they were saying, and so I had a couple that I couldn't connect with. So if you call me, be very clear in your message, what you're needing. Make sure you leave your phone number and your name, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So thank you all so much, and I wish you the most amazing and blessed life experience. And let's all vibrationally rise, shall we? And go into that space of love and compassion. Namaste.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. Our weekly lineup of call-in programs includes Computers 2K Now with Amnon Nissan, Health In with Debbie Bruck, Breaking Free with Marilyn Shannon, Lessons of Vietnam with NCVVI members, The Tawnya Love Show, Reawaken Your Brilliance with Julie Seibert, and if you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it at www.nissancommunications.com. Sponsored by Atomus.com, makers of quality video recorders and converters for professionals. That VidBlasterGuy.com, CarolinaApparel.com, and DeltaForce.net.